Something goes on. So we're in February. There is a sun square Uranus coming up, which is very unstable. I would say unstable Earth already, and then when the sun hits it, who knows? Lots of electrical manipulation, perhaps. Maybe the weather will prove to be gnarly. Already kind of happening in my area, but I don't think it's any different than just what's different is not having the rains, and then they come, I guess, and then people freak out on them, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, they do build things to not do well um, with water runoff. In fact, you might even suspect that they build it to cause problems after just some rain onslaughts, and then they say, "Oh, climate change." It's like, no, you suck at building things. That's what it is. So anyway, let's get back to. I know I wanted to say something about. Oh, you see, Mars is going to conjunct the Pluto of America, the one where they kind of paid attention to where we just had the Pluto return, where Pluto was at 27 degrees. That's where Capricorn, that's where Pluto was when they were signing the so-called Declaration of Independence. Okay, so it's at 27 degrees Capricorn now. We just had this, and there's a lot of tension in the air. In the United States, people don't know it. There's a standoff, I think, between the Federates or something like this, or the federal government, and around the globe, by the way. It affects the whole globe. I mean, really, we can trace it over to Israel. But back to America here, where we just had this Pluto loosening of that, just kind of looking into it like, well, really, what about that, you know? And unfortunately, well, Jesus knows that and tries to warn us some things. But anyway, let's get back to how now, see, on particularly, I think it's February 9th. Pardon me. Oh, my eyes. Yeah, it's around about the 9th or the 10th, really, of coming up here this weekend, is when Mars hits that degree of 27 Capricorn that is conjunct the Pluto of America. It's so-called independence. Now, this is my theory about this, and it's very much sticking out. You know, you have two descendants or what you call ancestral descendants types. There's the type that perhaps they fought against a Declaration of Independence. Maybe they were the ones that were being sought against to get independence from. You know what I'm saying? Uh, there was a separation going on, right? A split. Um, See, now it's coming up again. You have to figure which side. See, you have a childhood, and your mother's mother has a childhood that points at who they were. Were they the ones who were highly destructive and ended up that people wanted to get away and sovereign away from them and say we're independent, which that is very, very vague, and talk about a hoax as far as language and documents and stuff. But getting back to the phenomena of there being a fact of somebody wanted to get away from somebody. Right now, it's coming up again. You have a childhood reflecting what? From their childhood, from your ancestral childhoods. what were they about? See, for example, my ancestral descendants were of the Freemasons. That's the side they were just builders like crazy. They engineered top-notch reason why New York looks the way it does in the roads, and I'm telling you, they did that to the point of selflessly, and a lot of those people would try to claim their independence. Sorry, did I just spit on this thing? You see what I'm saying? They would try to claim their independence because they figure out, well, something keeps robbing from them, basically, right? They keep doing something to their rights to have anything, maybe. And so then, yes, and so that's who the side I know, and we kind of know, something is um, kind of fishy, and you want to try and claim your own sovereignty here in your own business on your own land, kind of a thing. If we're talking about a country, which is it's a crock, you guys. It is. See, Jesus is a story of people oh God, now let me get that. I don't want to. See, it's a metaphor. Jesus is just a metaphor now. It's just a story. It's just a story. But it's a very potent story that will never die because, in fact, it's happening now. It happened maybe today, like, say, in court, where all of those courts, from that, if that was a real historical account, what happened with Jesus, who they would they would send whatever sex it was, whoever it was, Jesus, they would send Jesus to capital punishment over a murderer. Basically, I think they were saying, you do not judge a single person here until the monetary system is abolished, and I'm going to sacrifice myself to make sure this burns your fucking retinas out to the point of you're going to have to make up a story as to what actually happened here, because this place is full of it. Full of what? Narcissists. People that are just they've been taken by something, definitely taken by the desire of the mind. Really is just to be more powerful than the truth in reality. And the truth in reality is a huge spectrum. You have to be kind of mature to start thinking about what that possibly might be, friends. And the narcissist, they practice Satanism. Uh, uh, they in such a way that they take all the same information that you can hold, but they try and hide it. See, they want to keep people ignorant, and they'll steal that information from other people and use it against them, or take it and use it and say it and take credit. Always, that's what's been happening on this planet, and that's what the story is more and more. And when you look at it, and it happens over and over again, you have to figure out, not only with the story of the darn Constitution that is about this split, as somebody's asking somebody for freedom and sovereignty from something. Now, what about the history of the story that Jesus Christ's story, right there when they're in court and they do decide to kill somebody who was apparently just sticking up for the better health of the organism, say everybody around, like, well, how should we live, right? That's a very controversial thing, and like that person just walked around and told stories and healed some people and probably even caused some trouble with some other people who were just not truth oriented and probably very unhealthy, and they got theirs somehow, some way. I mean, God, and then they would what? They would get healed later on. That's the story. The more they would just see that, well, they're backing themselves into a corner being stupid, and they look stupid, and they keep shooting their own selves in the foot. That would happen enough in that story, but later on, you get enough of the mob going, yes, it's about the mob. It's about like one person that just says, "Excuse me, but if enough people find out about me, I'm doomed." So, and there was some people that says, "Hey, we love you," and it's like, too bad. I got to go to court now. Excuse me, while they just hang me up. That place would not exist unless there was a presence on this plane who is trying to deceive everybody to the very core of their own ability to become sovereign from what it is that possesses them, which is their own mind. If they don't get clear about it and figure out how to manage it on their own, get into the true light that is reality and the truth instead of the fake light, which is the mind. That's the real metaphor that is pointed at there when they talk about Christ over there. It's just a bunch of narcissists who chose the mind because they're chicken shit, and that's just the way it is here, kids. You're outnumbered by mental cases, period. Now, are you going to be the one who can figure out how to get out of it and knows the cure? There is a cure. It's called meditation. It's the only cure. Been here for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Depends now if you really know what that is. Meditation. The saying goes from these people who are called Buddhists that know about meditation. They know more about the mind than anybody. And now, where do the Buddhists reside? Over in Tibet. These are the yellow people on the planet, the Oriental. They harbor the power of the mind and knowledge of the mind. They bring us Buddhism. It's just a conversation between two people. Let's have that conversation. The question is, the statement is, there are sick people, and then there are meditators.